Yes, I've been professionally day trading the stock market for 15 years. I've been talking shit about Bitcoin fanboys, but you guys are no longer alone. I made $30,000 in my first 30 days of entering crypto fuckboy fandom. But then disaster struck. From making millions of dollars as a day trader for 15 years and now mentoring students who are making $18,000 in a day, to making millions running an online course and coaching business and now mentoring students who are making $70,000 per month. I know how to make money online, but it's time to give back. So I'm going to give away over $10,000 worth of my online day trading and entrepreneur courses for absolutely free. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, and I'll be running a small budget of advertisements retargeting people who subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now and be on the lookout for that secret advertisement that will give you access to all my programs for free. Trading is hard. In fact, I lost money for my first 3 years as a day trader because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and most people do that same thing as well because they have so much FOMO or see somebody else making money that they just want to get started without knowing what they're doing. But I've been teaching people how to do this for 15 years, and I try to help people avoid that. And now the reason why I got started in crypto is because I started noticing similar patterns in altcoins, in Bitcoin,
in Ripple, in Ethereum.
So I started thinking maybe I should start diversifying and start throwing in some money into the crypto market because things seemed underpriced. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, is how I made $30,000 in 30 days by implementing the strategies I use in the stock market into the crypto market. So just to give you a little backstory of why I talk so much shit about Bitcoin is that when you look at a chart like this is what we call a parabolic move. And in the history of every move that looks like this in the stock market, in any market at all, there always comes a crash after that. And I actually specialize in identifying this pattern because I actually take advantage of this to make money when things crash. So that is why I had so much hatred and shit talk towards people about this, because it continually went up. And yes, people made a lot of money, but I knew that the crash was coming. And a lot of people were asking me, Cam, when do you think a good time to buy Bitcoin would be? I said, well, once we start seeing suicide in the news, that's when you know maybe it's start time to buy. So I just did a little quick Google search of Bitcoin suicide 2018. And as you can see, there was a bunch of things that came popping up in 2018 because if we look at the chart here, that's when everything started to hit the fan. Reddit users share a suicide helpline on cryptocurrency page after Bitcoin price crash. Young Bitcoin millionaire dies in suspected suicide after having fortune stolen. Crash fears, investors on suicide watch. Man commits suicide after a loss on cryptocurrency. Once I started reading these things, that was like my first initial reaction was like, okay, this is a time to start getting in. And unfortunately, that sounds very morbid and kind of fucked up, but that's just the reality because I've been in the markets for 15 years and I've also studied about 100 years of market activity to see what happens when we see things like this. It's a 100% probability it's gonna crash and everybody's gonna lose their shit and people are gonna start committing suicide. Once I saw this spike down here in late 2018, I thought, okay, this thing is getting close to $3,000 per coin, whatever you want to call it. That's when I wanted to actually start getting involved. So I tried to transfer over just a quick $10,000 into a Coinbase account. The problem was it took forever to do it. I was in South Africa at the time. I couldn't contact my bank. By the time I was actually able to trade, Bitcoin had ripped 1,000 points. At that point, I was like, all right, I missed this opportunity. And I kind of just walked away from that. And I didn't really touch Bitcoin for a while, but it actually made an awesome move to the upside and actually formed a breakout pattern, a very similar pattern that I teach in my trading. How I've traditionally traded in the stock market is I simply just trade breakout patterns. It's a very simple concept to understand. All you look for is triangle breakout patterns that look like triangles, and you typically see price consolidate within these triangles before they actually break out to the upside. That's exactly what we saw right here on Bitcoin. Look what we see here. What is this? This is a triangle breakout pattern, just like I drew on the chart that I just showed. Simple, right? That's kind of the basic concept that we saw exactly play out here on Bitcoin before this went from 4,000 up to about 14,000. This same exact concept, you draw a triangle, consolidates, it breaks out, you make money. And the reason why I started getting into Bitcoin is because I started seeing this across a lot of altcoins, such as LSK here. This is another triangle breakout pattern. I went long here in about the 120s, and I actually sold this one up at 180. SC, triangle breakout pattern. Nano, same exact pattern. Just for some examples, guys, talking about breakout triangle trading, this is exactly what I was showcasing inside of our Discord chat room. Some of these exact same patterns that are forming up these beautiful looking triangle patterns that are literally the same exact patterns that I've been trading for 15 years in the stock market that I started seeing here, okay? So that was LSK right before this thing actually blew up, or actually this is ICX, also the same similar pattern. Triangles that are breaking out to the upside that are all picture perfect breakout triangle patterns that are very easy to identify. And for me, it was actually a little bit easier to trade them because they do move slower in crypto. So I started seeing all these similar patterns. I didn't exactly approach this as a day trader. Crypto is open 24/7, 365. It doesn't stop, right? And when I trade the stock market, I literally only trade for 90 minutes. So I'm always there in that 90-minute window. I buy and I sell and I get out. What happened in crypto, why I made $30,000, but guess what? I gave it all back. I got a little bit too greedy in the sense of I was looking at this as more of a longer term thing. I'm thinking, okay, all these different countries are starting to get digital currencies, which means there's probably gonna be a lot of momentum in the crypto markets, and we might see a huge spike to the upside, just like we saw back in 2018 or early 2016, upwards through 2018 when everything crashed. It didn't work out the way I wanted. This is just in altcoins. So I made a bunch of small trades between $2,000 to $5,000 on a bunch of these because they were all in the similar pattern. Things were working out great until everything just turned into false breakouts. And what happened was I kind of got caught in between a moment of point of no return. I went to sleep and then one day, after these false breakouts, everything dropped like 20%. It put me in a situation where I didn't have tight stops set. And then I had to make the decision of, okay, we just dropped 20%. You're basically a bag holder because you're kind of at that middle point where you missed the opportunity to stop out when you should have, but now you're at a point where does it go up from here or does it keep going down from here? In the stock market, I would never put myself in that position. With crypto and forex, it's open 24/7 while I'm sleeping, while I'm at the gym, while I'm at dinner. So many things can happen without me actually watching it, and I didn't have hard stops, which is now a new lesson that I have learned. Now, here's the thing. I still believe that we have a lot of upside potential in the crypto market. And the only coins that I currently have is XRP and Ethereum. I'll show you on XRP, this is really how I made $30,000 in 30 days. I started with about $30,000 in my account. Now it's back down to $32,868. But it did peak out at 60K in just 30 days. And if we look at my executions here on XRP, where I got into this was right before we saw this massive rip after it broke out of this triangle breakout pattern, and I loaded up about 115,000 coins of XRP. As you can see, I have 117,000. Do you call them shares? Do you call them coins? I don't fucking know. And I do still think that XRP does have upside potential. And I actually started adding even more up here. What I didn't realize about the crypto market and using my broker, Kraken, if you want to join Kraken, there's a link below. You have a 28-day maximum on leverage trading. All right, I'm just going to continually add here with some leverage so I'm not just using only cash, but then they stopped me out of all these trades and I lost like an additional $5,000 because I added up here. And then they stopped me out down here automatically. So I basically had a margin call because I reached my maximum time limit to hold anything on margin, which I didn't know. I wasn't reading the fine print. Everything is gonna go digital. Now, I don't think XRP or Bitcoin or any of these companies are ever gonna be a currency people widely use. I think every country is gonna move to a digital currency, but what they're probably gonna do is use technology that we're using with Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin, right? That technology is going to be implemented into all these digital currencies across the country. So I do have a little bit more higher hopes than I used to for a long-term hold on cryptocurrencies. And just because I gave back that $30,000, I'm still slightly up. And I do still see a lot of potential upside, especially in XRP. That's my biggest holding. Just a few small shares of Ethereum. But you can see here, what is this? This is a triangle breakout pattern. Again, also with Bitcoin. So I do see a lot of upside potential, which is why I now have about $32,000 in the markets. It was 60K just a few weeks ago, and then it came all down. I didn't approach it as a day trader. I'm more so approaching this as a longer term hold and longer term investment. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap for today's video. Now, what are you guys doing? Are you guys trading forex, crypto, the stock market. What is it? I've been teaching people how to do it for the last 15 years, how to day trade the stock market to make $200 to $2,000 per day. There's gonna be a link below if you wanna learn how to do that. But if not, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button, because I'm giving away over $10,000 worth of all my online courses simply to people who subscribe to this channel. Then we're gonna retarget a very small budget, and you just might actually see that and click on it and be able to get all my courses for free. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for the next video. Watch my related videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let's just do this all over.